Welcome to the Warframe weapon Encyclopedia, where today we are checking out the Euphona Prime. Now, since this is a primed weapon, the only way to get it is to assemble it from its primed parts, which you can either get yourself by opening specific relics or by buying the parts from other players. But since relics are rotated in and out quite frequently, I will leave a link to the official Euphona Prime Wikipedia website in the video description so you can check it out and see which relics you want to go for or if they're vaulted or not. The Euphona Prime is a Mastery Rank 14 secondary pistol that comes with two different fire modes. The primary or slug mode does primarily impact damage with high crit and crit multiplier but with very low status, and the secondary or buckshot mode kind of flips this around, so it does primarily slash with a low crit and crit multi but relatively high status. The range on these is also wildly different. The primary or slug mode is for long range engagements, though you do have to bear in mind that the projectiles not only have travel time but they also drop down over distance, so you have to compensate for both. And the secondary buckshot mode is extremely short ranged. Its fall off starts at 6 meters and ends at 12. Plus the pellets, of which you get 10 with the buckshot mode, spread out like crazy, so you really don't want to shoot at things that are far away. Now, as far as the build is concerned, I personally like to go with a hybrid that utilizes both the primary and the secondary fire. Though if you want to squeeze maximum damage out of this, you should just go with a status setup that focuses on Viro and Slash and use the secondary fire. Oh yeah, and by the way, there is no switching between the two fire modes. Your primary fire button or attack button will fire the primary fire and the secondary fire button will just fire off the secondary fire. Now, even though I personally prefer the primary fire, it is not all that great, mainly because it does primarily impact, which is not the best damage type, so the damage on it falls off pretty hard. The reason I like it is because it's just more fun than the secondary fire for me. If, however, I were to build for the secondary fire, I would do something like this, where I would get a ton of base damage through Hornet Strike and Magnum Force. I would also run an Expel mod, which is great for slash-based setups, and I would also try to bump up the slash a little bit with Carnage Stinger. This, of course, comes with a massive downside in that the Magnum Force mod will make the pellet spread even worse, but with a weapon that has as terrible fall-off on its secondary fire as this one, I don't really consider it to be that big of a deal. Just run up to the enemy, shove the barrel up their nose, and bang. Though you also have to bear in mind that running this build, while great for DPS when it comes to the secondary fire, will make the primary fire much worse. This weapon used to be the bee's knees when it first came out. It was insane. The damage was through the roof, the slash stuff was great, but nowadays, after all the power creep shenanigans that we've been through over the years, it's just like an okay pistol. The main issue with this weapon is that its fire modes have nothing in common. They do different types of damage and have completely different stats, so no matter what you build for, you're always going to be losing something somewhere. And that's a shame, because the weapon is a ton of fun to use. But as far as damage goes, I would say it's about average nowadays. And that's pretty much it, so I thank you very much for watching as always, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.